the ultimate power.
Right.
So why would he come down and get his, he created things to do things for him.
That's why.
Said, my bad, the Most High God isn't mentioned until Genesis, the 2nd chapter.
Right. And I was about to say, that's why when you look in the Bible, it's not the book of Jesus. He had other people that they wrote down what they seen him do.
Right.
The Most High, he had Isaiah and the other prophets, they wrote down the things that he gave them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it would just been one book. The whole book of Genesis from the very beginning.
That's a good point. The Lord, he didn't, I'm going to do this, I'm going to create this miracle, then I'm going to write it down. Like, he had other people observe it, and then they wrote it down.
Because he don't want everybody to get it.
Right.
Scripture. All right. This is our second address, 6 and 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Bring that down, huh?
Oh, bring it back.
All right, this is second address, 6 and 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
After these, you get that? After these, go ahead.
Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people, see, so he tells you right there, all people. That's not plural. That's not singular. That's plural. That means people, all. So that's telling you it was already people on earth. So when the Lord created man, he created peoples in all.
It's also saying that of Adam come all people, whether you be Israel or of another nation.
The other nations, right. The other nations came out of Adam, But you got it.
Adam and Eve was God's first creation.
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more.
It's biblical anyway.
It's a little bit more.
Bring it out.
Continuing on, this is verse 55. All these are spoken before thee.
See, all these. It tells you right there again. Go ahead.
O Lord, because thou madest the word for our sakes.
For our, not for our sakes, meaning it's more people than that.
Are you familiar with the Apocrypha, by the way? The King James 1611 has it in there. This is the original. The Roman Catholics, what's his name, took that out. Martin Luther or something like that.
Yeah. I think his name was Martin Luther.
Yeah, took it out, Go ahead.
A little bit more meat on here, a little bit more.
Well, we gotta get to the meat.
And he was an Edomite, wasn't he? I believe. Martin Luther.
I think
he
so,
was.
yeah.
All right, continuing on. This verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
I gotta walk over here.
And has likened to the abundance of them unto a drop that fallen out of a vessel.
So they're nothing. So he really don't care about the other nations. He just said it. Like, how you got a big bucket of water, and you carrying it, and you might trip a little bit, or all that little excess water that's dropping down. That's how he feel about the other nations. Like, I don't need it.
What? Like when you drive your car off, and there was a little drop of oil from the vessel.
Yeah.
It might have been somebody else's.
Ain't nothing. Yeah, you don't worry about it. But if it start leaking and it comes out, then that's when you worry about it, because that's the abundance you care for.
It's hard to believe that God just only chose one people. But when you read the scriptures, it says that.
The Most High got a
Amos
favorite
3:1.
everything. Just like we're created in his image. So don't you got a favorite food that you like? You got a favorite food that you like, right?
Probably ice cream comes to mind. But
There you
nice
go.
and sweet.
Yep. So
you got food that you don't like.
right, and you got foods that you don't like, right? So the Most High's sort of the same, We created in his image,
8. You saw that?
I got a scripture.
Fall down.
Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only you only
Go ahead.
have I known of all the families of the earth.
Wow.
Who
Time
said
to
that?
take a run again.
Who said that? That's the
Hear
Lord.
this word that the Lord has spoken against you.
Now, do
O
you
children of
understand
Israel.
when it's capitalized, like when God is capitalized, it's talking about the Most High God. And when you see God with a G, lowercase, and the OD is talking about it could be angels or whatever else, or it might have a capital G and an OD.
Get Daniels. Let's show.
Because a lot of Christians now are taking a little bit of what we are teaching, and they're starting to see, but they can't get past the Gentile thing. Right. Go ahead.
55 and 8, right?
Yeah, 55 and 8.
All right, this is Isaiah 55 and 8.
So who is anybody to say God just loves everybody? Meanwhile, he's destroying. And let me ask you a question. What just happened in the island, was it Haiti? The hurricanes and all
Jamaica.
that? Who's doing that?
I do think.
You think Satan's doing that or God?
I think there is a natural realm that we deal with, and I think there's a spiritual realm that we deal with.
Sure.
I think God Almighty is able to intervene in the natural realm when He so chooses. But I also think there's a natural system that He has set up that He doesn't always just dictate everything that occurs.
So you don't think God dictates everything that occurs?
No,
That's crazy.
I think there's a spiritual and there's a natural.
Right, but he's in the spiritual realm, right?
It's just like,
But He controls the natural realm.
it's just like, I think I am left to decide, am I going to walk across there right now or not?
So you don't believe in free will? I mean, you believe in free will. Proverbs 20 and 24.
You don't believe in faith. That's what you
I believe in
That's the same
faith.
thing.
faith.
Faith. I believe that God can intervene,
All right, we're gonna get the scripture.
but I also think I have to choose.
We're
All
gonna
right.
we're gonna answer that for you.
This is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
Yep. So you can't understand what you're doing because the Lord control. Bring that up with the Isaiah, because basically
What?
the Lord
Call
is.
Isaiah what?
What was it?
45 and 7.
45 and 7.
All right, this is Isaiah.
Before we go there, you're going to have to get the understanding that there's the fate is of the Most High, right?
I think he can intervene and he can make things happen, but he's not going to make anybody serve him. I think we have to choose.
You say He's not going to make anybody
choose
serve
to
Him.
serve the Lord?
If you don't serve the Lord, you're already condemned, the Bible says.
So you saying that the Lord is not in control? You say the Lord just lets people make the choices of their own, and if
I
you
believe-
have that right to choose to serve Him.
I believe he has given us that ability to decide.
Okay,
Because
Jeremiah
I think
10
he
and 23.
calls, I think he gives opportunity. I think the reason why Christ came was give us an opportunity to be reconciled to the
Okay.
Father.
So we choose whether we want that opportunity or not.
Yes.
Okay. John 15 and 16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you
Yep.
and ordained you
Yep.
that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, He may give it you.
And who is he talking to?
He's talking to His servants, His men.
Right.
You don't. We didn't choose to serve the Lord. The Lord chose us.
And that's the reason why I say God came and chose us. But are we going to? It's like it's a relationship. This is like my wife and I. We chose to get
You
married.
ever heard of soulmates?
I've heard of it. I
There
still
we
think
go.
you have to choose.
Okay, let's read it. Jeremiah 10 and 23.
And we have to choose to stay stuck, to be maintain married.
You might
Let's
think,
read it.
but
This is Jeremiah
Oh, I think we
10
have
and 23.
This is only
every day to
we
love.
put out for like 50 scriptures, you know? Go ahead.
Oh Lord, I know that the way of the man. Salakia.
Read it over.
Oh Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself.
What's that mean? He says, "Oh Lord, I know the way of man is not in himself." Go ahead.
It is not in man that walketh into direct his steps.
Read that part again.
It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps.
It's not in man to walk to direct his steps. So if you go out at the wrong time and get hit by a tanker, the Most High set that up for you to die.
Yep.
He says, Samuel, 2 Samuel 2 and 6? He says, I killeth and maketh alive.
Right.
that's the
I
one
bringeth up and bringeth down.
Yeah.
Isaiah 45 and 7 was the brother brought
If I
out.
can bring out this quick one.
Right.
Proverbs 16 and 1. It says the preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord.
Right. You got it.
Lord brought him in.
Yeah, the Lord is the one who brought you here. You didn't wake up today and say, hey, I want to go down there and check and see what those guys are talking about. No, it's the Spirit of the Lord that brought you here.
Now,
I agree with, because there was a spirit within me, but I had trust to make. And we see in the Bible where people, God has a will, has a way. You take David. I don't think it was God ordained for David to
commit sin.
Commit
Yes,
adultery.
it was.
Bring that
I don't
out.
think so.
Yes, it was.
Bring that Isaiah out.
That doesn't align with who God is.
Right, because it does. Because God is what? Exodus 15:3. Exodus 15:3. It does align with it. Because what was the ultimate outcome of David when he did what he did? He repented.
Yeah.
And it was to show an example for forgiveness.
Right.
That the Lord will forgive you. And it was ultimate. Remember, he said he was a son of a war in his heart or something like that. He was a man of basically a man of war in his own heart.
Yeah, a man of his own heart.
So he gave it to his son, because out of Bathsheba, because he slept with Bathsheba, right? Out of Bathsheba came who? Solomon. And then what did Bathsheba say in Proverbs the 31st chapter? Give not thy strength to woman, because the Lord chose Bathsheba because she would be wiser unto her son than anybody else. So out of that adultery came light, even though he did wicked stuff. Read that.
All right. This is Isaiah 45:7.
You don't believe God will do something like that? Go ahead.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil.
What?
I, the Lord, do all these things.
That answers it.
So all the explosions, the 9/11, all of that was all by God.
Yeah.
Even though you may think that that's man doing it, the Lord is making man do those things.
Right.
And they say Satan. It was Satan. It was Satan. Do you know the Lord controls Satan?
Yeah.
Satan don't have no power
God
over the
Almighty
Lord.
has all power and authority over heaven and earth.
And I got something. When you say
He answered his own question though just now.
yeah,
That's what we was just talking about. Now I got a question. Do you pray?
I do.
What do you pray for? No, I don't want to, no
Different
personal
things
business.
to me.
Basically everything that what matters to you, right? So there you go. That means that you basically saying that the Lord has control over you and everything else.
I want to submit that control to Him. I know there's a lot of people in the world who are not submitting that control to Him.
What's happening to them? It means you don't choose that.
Yeah.
And when they don't choose it, they reap the consequences of not following and falling under His authority.
And who's in control of all that?
The God. See, by you saying that God, He deals with the spiritual realm, but He doesn't have. He has authority, but He intervenes when He wants to intervene.
Basically,
Right.
you're saying that the Lord don't have the power that He got.
2 Samuel 2
I
and
think He
6.
has the power and authority.
Well, you know He does.
I know
Okay,
He
all
does.
right. One more question. One more
2 and
question.
6.
If you have a army, right? You set up soldiers, or let's say you have sons, right? You or children, whatever. You set up, you have children, right? You don't allow them to pick and choose everything they want. What happens if you seen the parents that say, hey, you can choose and you can do whatever it is you want to do. What happens to that? What happens to that child eventually?
Usually it's typically have poor outcomes.
Exactly. Which means you have to have strict order over them, which means the Lord has to have control over everything, which means you don't have any free will. He didn't create us to have free will, because if that was the case, then everybody out here would be messed up.
We'd be destructive.
If that's the case, you might as well just put that in the Bible, because this is one big instruction manual.
Yeah.
Well, that's why He gave Moses the law. Why did He give Moses the law to give the children of Israel? Because children of Israel kept going off.
Yeah.
He caused us to go off.
Yeah.
Go and read that. 1
All
Samuel 2 and 6.
This is 1 Samuel 2 and 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
Yep.
He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Right. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich.
Yep.
He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Yep. Go ahead.
He raised up the poor out of the dust.
Yep.
And he lifted up the beggar from the dunghill.
Yep.
To set them among the the princes and make them inherit the throne of glory.
Right. So the Lord set up kings. He brings kings down. He set up. What he's saying here is, I do everything. That's why when you read Isaiah 45:7, he said, I the Lord, I do all these things. Yeah. Get Exodus 15:3 real quick.
All right. And going on, to that thing with what I asked you, if you have like a kingdom, you have an army, if you're a king set up high, you can't let your men, you can't let your soldiers do whatever it is they want to do, or else, they basically, you can't let them have free will. Or, I mean, look at the system today. You got satellites watching over them.
Yeah.
Which means Esau don't even believe in free will.
Hey, when the Lord tells an angel to go do something,
They do.
you think the angel got free will to go do whatever he want? No.
That's why when you read Revelation 13, they talk about the mark of the beast. Do you know what that is? The mark of the beast. You heard of that from church? Do you know what that is? It's okay if you don't.
My understanding is it's going to be something